You're listening to the Lift You Up podcast, a podcast dedicated to bringing HIT to your headphones. That is, happy, inspirational, informational tidbits. Lace up your sneakers and open your hearts, small mates. Let's get lifted.
Welcome back. Great to see you. I'm tuning in from my New York City apartment in Manhattan. My internship has commenced. We are in week 2, and I want to tell you about this story that I saw on the news recently. Ashley Urbex, an explorer from Milton Keynes, found a crumbling barn in Nottinghamshire forest full of 50 vintage cars. Among them are an old Daimler, Rover 2300, Riley 1.5, MG MGA, Triumph GT6 MK3, Austin 8, Hillman Hunter, Vanden Plas, Mercedes 220, an Austin Morris Mini, and several Fords. Now, none of those names mean anything to me. Most of the cars, unfortunately, were rotting and in bad condition, but you can see her discovery on her TikTok account at Ashley Urbex if you're interested. She was there for several hours looking at the cars because there are just so many. And this kind of makes me think of how in New York City it's full of museums. You really have to take at least 2 hours, probably 4, to really soak in each museum that you visit. I visited the Met 2 days ago for their date night this past Friday, and I was there for, I would say, about 3 hours because you really have to take your time going through exhibits. And then what I find is I have a deeper appreciation for the art when I read the plaques that are describing the art, because sometimes you don't really understand what's being portrayed. You know, there's like a deeper meaning, or you can learn more about the artist and see where they're coming from when they made that art. So I highly recommend visiting a museum and checking out Ashley's TikTok.
Gym buddies are people's #1 support system during their fitness journey. Here are real-life gym buddies who have gone above and beyond to help someone in their lives.
Hailing from the town of Grantham in Lincolnshire, English couple Margaret Eastdale and her husband Robert have received a Lifetime Achievement Award from Lincolnshire Foster Services for their 46 years of raising foster children. Since 1978, they have fostered 150 kids and teens, and they have no plans of stopping. They are well into their 80s and have touched the lives of so many kids. For instance, there was Kim, who was 4 years old when she entered their household with a heart complication and Down syndrome. They traveled as much as they could with her before she passed away at age 21. Another example is when they were asked to be the godparents for their foster kids. Not all heroes wear capes. They were hearts of gold. Thank you, Margaret and Robert.
Grab your shaker bottle and shake up those pre-workout swole mates, because we're about to hit you with some serious scientific advancements. It's science.
I remember seeing a sign in my mom's office that said 7 days without chocolate makes 1 week. This week's science article is for all my chocoholics out there. Researchers from ETH Zurich have developed a type of chocolate that is more sustainable and nutritious than conventional varieties. A main component of chocolate is the cocoa fruit, which contains additional valuable ingredients that have been underutilized until now. ETH Zurich wants to amplify the benefits of chocolate to the max through maximizing the cocoa profit. It not only increases the chocolate's profitability, but its health benefits. The research team tested many different approaches and ratios of sugar to cocoa fruit components until they found the sweet spot. Researchers were able to increase the fiber content by around 20% while reducing the saturated fat content by around 30%. Before you take to the internet to purchase this magical chocolate, the research team explained that there's still more to do before this chocolate can hit the market, especially when it comes to equipping farmers with the right resources and tools for crafting the chocolate. Exciting news though, as ETH has already taken the first step by patenting their cocoa fruit chocolate recipe.
Join me as I honor those who dream big and achieve bigger. This is PR, where records are made to be broken.
I have a vivid memory in elementary school of one of my classmates who was always using his Rubik's Cube. He used it so much that I thought his Rubik's Cube was part of his hand. He memorized all the sequences for solving the cube and even graduated to unique, complex Rubik's Cubes that transcend the traditional 4x4x4. I want to tell you about a 6-year-old from China who was the first female to solve the 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube in under 6 seconds. Zhao Qixian achieved the feat at the Rubik's Cube International Open in Singapore. She started to learn how to solve the puzzle when she was only 3 years old. It was beyond my wildest expectations that she set the world record at such a young age, her mother said after the tournament. Way to go, Sao.
I'm ready to spot you through the hottest trends and people hitting the scene. This is Gym Crush.
This week's Gym Crush is invisible or imaginary things and animals. We're going to start off with crabs fighting shadows. Want to battle a crab without facing the wrath of its claws? Make some animal puppets on the sand at the beach and pretend to eat the crab. Mr. Krabs will have his guard up and pinchers at the ready. There's a video circulating social media that is comical. You'll be entertained for hours. Another entertaining and fascinating phenomenon is ants and marker ink. This one is more well known. You've probably seen the video of a person drawing circles around an innocent ant on a piece of paper. The circle was like an imaginary wall, and the ant didn't dare step over the boundary lines. What is this magic marker's secret? In a paper in Journal of Chromatography A, scientists found all sorts of chemical components in pen ink that ants might want to avoid, including methylbenzene and xylene. Another reason is that the marker has wiped away the pheromone trail that told the ant where to go. The ink not only repels the ant, but erases its tiny footsteps. Third one is moths and lamplights. Under a natural skylight, insects tilt their bottoms towards the brightest light, such as the sun, to maintain control over their flying patterns. At night, there's no sun, so artificial sources are the next best thing. This reflex is called the dorsal light response. Near artificial light sources, however, this response can produce continuous steering around the light and trap the insect in a loop. Now knowing this, it's kind of sad. Moths are at the mercy of the light, and please free these animals from their misery and turn off your lights. Let them fly. No bottoms up. Last but not least, cats and laser pointers. This provides entertainment for both parties. I'd say it's probably the most ethical phenomenon out of the four I chose. Cats are attracted to laser pointers because they mimic the movement of prey. The red dot's quick, random movements can resemble a mouse or another animal scurrying away. Fun fact, cats see the dots as white and yellow, not red. Go down a rabbit hole of watching videos of animals meeting their match with imaginary figures. You'll be obsessed in no time.
Welcome to On Rotation, where I'm helping you program the ultimate soundtrack to elevate your workout.
Take a trip to the 80s with Bourgeoisie's by Conan Gray. This song sounds a lot like Tainted Love with a poppy drum beat in the background. This song reflects on Conan's experience growing up and wanting to be a bourgeois or a middle-class person. The chorus will be stuck in your head all day, and the song's themes capture the essence of Great Gatsby. The song is part of Conan's new studio album, Found Heaven, that is a conglomerate of 80s-inspired synth-pop songs. As Conan put it, this album is very much about embracing all your emotions, and embracing the fact that, yeah, this did end terribly, but it was so worth it and I'd do it again. No time to mourn, I'm on the dance floor.
Words are hard sometimes, so let me make them harder by teaching you a really niche word to keep in your back pocket. Brain gains.
Shout out to my mom for introducing me to this word. This week's word is adorkable, which means someone who is unfashionable or socially awkward in a way regarded as appealing or cute. Thank you, Mom. While this word sounds like a backhanded compliment at first, you come to own the word and embrace it. Speaking from personal experience, normal is boring anyway. Keep being weird, folks. It's adorkable.
Prepare to pull up to events and get in on the fun.
Life's short, talk fast. You Americanized that line from the popular show Gilmore Girls. Stay at the Mayflower Inn and Spa that started it all. This stunning retreat in Washington, Connecticut is where Amy Sherman Palladino, the creator of Gilmore Girls, stayed while writing the show's pilot. She was inspired by the inn in town to create the fictional town of Stars Hollow and some of its characters. The Mayflower Inn suites and guest rooms are luxurious and charming. This is an excellent weekend getaway, girls trip location, or event venue. The Well at Mayflower Inn offers restorative spa treatments using East meets West healing practices, expert-led health coaching sessions, daily workshops, and seasonal retreats. As Kirk says on the show, I want to get the healthy glow of someone who goes consistently to the gym without actually having to go, of course. Spending some time at the Well will definitely have you radiating in no time. There is so much offered at this retreat, from fitness classes to farm-to-table dining, to spa treatments to crystals and cocktails, not to mention the subtle Gilmore Girls references. This is truly an oasis. Check their offerings page for packages and deals. To honor the ladies of the show, please eat a slice of cake while you stay.
Elevate is where I use my platform to shine my running headlamp on companies and nonprofits that are doing good.
Calling all people who love downward dogging with a dog, come sit and stay at the Puppy Sphere, a company that pairs wellness with wags. Each session involves a 45-minute yoga flow and rounds off with 30 minutes of cuddles with the pups. What's also included are bottomless mimosas, or a non-alcoholic alternative, and a Polaroid picture to take home. The Puppy Sphere partners with local breeders and rescues to help these dogs find their forever homes. They have locations in Chicago, New York City, Miami, and Toronto. If I'm barking up the right tree, check them out and wind down with some pups.
Thank you for listening to the Lift You Up podcast. Hope this episode gave you a runner's high to power you through the rest of your day. Peace out, soulmates.